Okay, great. Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. I hope you guys can all see my screen okay. And yeah, let's get started. So in today's webinar, what we will be uncovering is understanding the full 11 plus exam syllabus. So we've had many parents ask us, well, what is the 11 plus exam? What are the key topics? What is involved in all the different core subjects and what is their syllabus like? So we thought we would make a complete guide for you guys. And in today's webinar, we will basically be unraveling the full 11 plus exam syllabus. So without further ado, let's get started with the key objectives. So first off, we're going to start by understanding what the 11 plus exam actually is and what are the main subjects that your child will be tested in. We will also analyze what are the main 11 plus exam boards that are used by grammar schools here in the UK. Then we will break down the key topics in both the 11 plus English exam as well as the 11 plus maths exam. And many parents actually find a lot of the exam topics quite difficult to teach to their children. So we will help you tackle the difficult topics that will be tested in the exam. And in order to help you more with that, we will also share our syllabus checklists and some key formula sheets that will be really useful for you. And last, and I think the most important part of the webinar is we will be opening up to you guys in order to answer any questions or doubts that you might have. So, what is the 11 plus exam? So I'm sure many of you guys already know, but for those that don't know, the 11 plus exam is used by both grammar and independent schools here in the UK, and it's a big part of their selective admissions process in order to allow your child to gain entry into year 7 for these top schools. So typically your child will be in year 5 or year 6 in their current school, and then this will allow them to gain access into year 7, so secondary school. So for grammar schools, the timeline is September 2026. So this cohort is already done. I'm sure if you have, younger children that have sat the exam, you've already been through part of that process. But the next cohort is in September 2026 for grammar school. And for independent school, it's in January 2027. So, although these dates seem quite far ahead in the future, it's really important that you start your preparation very early on. Sometimes even 1 year is not enough for a child to be fully prepared. Some students need 2 years even. So it's really important that you start the preparation and your revision very early on in order for you to get the best outcome. So the reality is it can be quite harsh because there are over 100,000 children that sit for the 11 plus exam annually, but only 5% of these children are able to gain a place in grammar schools. So if you think about it, that's almost 100 children every year, and only 5 of those for each 100 will gain acceptance into the top grammar schools. So it's not just about, passing the exam, it's really about being part of the creme de la creme. But we're here to help you. So first off, we will start by understanding what are the main subjects that will be tested in the 11 plus exam. So there's 4 main subjects, which is the 11 plus English, 11 plus mathematics, and then you also have verbal reasoning and non-verbal reasoning. For today's webinar, we will be focusing more on English and mathematics, but almost all the schools do test verbal and non-verbal reasoning. However, there are a few that choose to eliminate non-verbal reasoning out of their syllabus. So we really advise you to actually check the respective school's official website so that you're able to confirm the subjects that they have, the exam board they have, and also the format. So speaking of 11 plus exam boards, as you can see from this lovely pie chart here that we've got, there's various types of exam boards. There's the GL assessment, the CSSE, and the FSCE, and the SET. So these are the most common exam boards that are used by grammar schools. And as we can see here, GL assessment, which is Granada Learning, is the most popular choice. So this is used by almost 85% of schools. So 140 schools use this. So if you are, interested in applying to a variety and a large amount of grammar schools, then your child definitely needs to be well equipped with the GL style board. After that, we also have the CSSE, which, although a small number of schools use this, only 10 schools use this, this is really important if you are actually considering applying for schools in Essex. So this is the consortium of selective schools in Essex. And if you do have, location requirements, you want to be in the Essex area, then you really need to be well versed with this board type. And we also have the FSCE, which is Future Stories Community Enterprise. And we also have the SET, which is the Selective Eligibility Test. Now, again, both of these only are used by a small number of schools. But of course, if you have unique needs, it's really important to check the respective school's website and see if they're using of these boards. But mainly, I think GL assessment is definitely the most widely used. So be practiced on that type of board. Independent schools also follow a type of board which is called the ISEB. They also conducted their own exams. Some schools do conduct their own exams. We will be doing a specialized, completely separate webinar on independent schools as well in the future. So definitely stay in tune for that, where we will explore independent school ISEB board as well. Okay, so now we will be looking at the 11 plus exam boards in a bit more detail and the challenging topics that you will encounter. So 11 plus exam boards specifically for English. So as I mentioned, we have the Granada Learning, SET and the CSSE. The question type and the sections allocated for these different exam boards are of course different. So for Granada Learning, we can have a look at a little sample paper here to give you a walkthrough. So this is Pi Academy's designed 11 plus English GL style test paper. So this is specifically designed on the GL style format. And as you can see, we have laid out the instructions similar to how you would experience, how your child would experience in the actual exam. So there's 4 sections for this. We have the reading comprehension, spelling exercises, capital letter and punctuation exercises, grammar exercises, which involve identifying the best word or words. So I'll just give you a little bit of a rundown for this. As you can see here, your child will be given a full English comprehension passage that they will be asked to read. It's really important you time yourself wisely for this because it is a long passage and you do have a short amount of time. And then you will be asked some multiple choice questions, as we can see here. So this is the MCQ question where your child will have to pick one correct answer and they will need to mark that on the answer sheet that they'll be given in the exam. So this is the MCQ section. Then we move on to the one spelling mistake question. So in this one, in a sentence, you will be asked to find the spelling mistake. So there can be one spelling mistake, or there may not be one at all, in which case you need to mark on the answer sheet N. So this is the spelling section. Then in this section, we also have the capital letter and punctuation mistake section. So for this, it's similar process as well. You need to identify where there is a mistake in the punctuation or capital letter. And if there's none, you mark with N. So yes, this carries on. This is an example of the GL style assessment. Again, another type of section where you need to find the best fitting word that would best suit this sentence so it is grammatically correct and it makes sense. So yes, so this is a little bit about the GL style bundle. On the Pi Academy website, you can actually find this exact type of pack. So if I go on to Pi Academy, this is our main page. And if you go hover onto 11 plus papers, and as we can see, we have a range of papers across maths, NVR, English, etc., etc. And here in exam formats, if you click on this, you will find the full package of different style exam board specific English papers, as well as maths, verbal and non-verbal. So for example, if you're interested in learning more with the GL style questions, simply click on this. And you will find 16 full-length GL solved past papers. We have over 800 GL style questions. So this will give you a really in-depth understanding of the GL style format, which is the widely used ones. So yes, now let me go back to my PowerPoint. The same thing is for the SET, CSSE. In a different webinar, we will be going through these sections in a lot more detail where we will unravel the different types of sample papers. And we will share these slides with you as well, so you can have a look in your spare time too. So for the SAT, again, similar format, but this one, there is one or more correct options you need to choose from the MCQs. They have spelling and variety of comprehension text and questions. For the CSSE, they have a slightly different question type format where they're not really using many MCQs, but they're focusing more on descriptive and tick box answers. For this one, they have a comprehension and applied reasoning section. So we will do a separate webinar on that where we dive deeper into these as well. So now that we've kind of seen the exam boards, it's really important to understand the 11 plus English syllabus as well. Now, in the 11 plus English syllabus, as you can see, we have the comprehension, we have the creative writing, spellings, punctuation, grammar, and vocabulary. Now, for a new parent who's quite new to the 11 plus English syllabus, this might seem not as huge of a syllabus. However, it is really vast because there's many different skills that are tested within each of these categories. So, for the comprehension category, there's 8 key skills that your child will be tested in. Now, there's different types of skills from inference, summary, prediction to literacy devices. However, through our years of experience, we've actually noticed that a lot of students struggle the most in inference, in close reading, and also in vocabulary. That's because students actually really find it difficult to read in between the lines for inference questions. And for vocabulary, that's a very common problem students have because they're not keeping an up-to-date and diverse vocabulary book. So to make your life easier as a parent, we've designed a really bespoke comprehension package for parents that need to, prepare their child for the 11 plus comprehension side. So again, if you go onto the Pi Academy site, under 11 plus papers, if you hover onto English side, you will find 11 plus comprehension. Now, this is a full 11 plus comprehension test papers package. Now, we have over 40 plus comprehension topic-wise split test papers, and these are all internally designed by our Oxbridge tutors who have experience in the 11 plus format, and they have over 14 years of experience, so they're very well versed on this. They've seen many students lose marks on really tricky comprehension questions. So because of this, we've based it on topic wise. So for example, if I go onto here, 11 plus inference test paper 5, and I click on download, I will also open up the answers side by side. So yes, this is a typical 11 plus comprehension paper. As I mentioned, it is split in topic wise. So this is purely focusing on inference style of questions. So if your child is struggling in inference particularly, this will be a really, really useful test paper. So here we've written all the types of questions that you will be asked. Another passage that more questions you'll be asked. And to make your life even easier, if you go onto the free answers section, you will be able to see the question again. We also provide hints and references. So here it's saying, pay attention to the variety of facilities, and reference, you need to refer to the whole text in order to answer this specific question. We've also provided students a model answer. So this model answer is written internally by our 11 plus experts and examiners. So this kind of gives you an outline what the actual examiner in the 11 plus exam, in the 11 plus English exam, will expect from you. So this got 6 out of 6 marks, and the time guidance we've also shown is 4 minutes. Many students actually also find it really helpful when we highlight what are the point, evidence, and explain, so the PEE technique. So we've also shown that in yellow, blue, and green, just so your child knows how to actually structure the answer as well. And we've also included a bad answer. Now, you might be thinking, well, why on earth would you include a bad answer? That's because we've actually analysed how students write in the actual exam. So based on that, we've kind of given a dummy answer, which a lot of poorly performing students have done. And we've given a commentary on why the answer is incorrect. So this will help you understand what to actually avoid in the actual exam. Now, back to the thing. So there's many more. There's inference, close reading, all divided by subtopics. Now, this whole package, we're actually giving a bespoke limited time only discount. So you will be getting a 30% off on this whole package, the 11 plus comprehension test papers, specifically for today. For it's a webinar discount, so please do help yourself if you are interested in. Another cool thing I would love to show you guys is 11 plus courses as well. So if we go onto the 11 plus courses section, it's right here at the top of the mega menu. You can also find it right at the top here again. If we click on 11 plus exam courses, we're actually launching a brand new set of 11 plus October half-term courses. So we have over 2,000 students enrolled currently. And this is run by 11 plus experienced tutors. It will help you improve your speed and accuracy. It's taught by our internal team as well. And we're running a unique 11 plus comprehension half-term course as well. So it's suitable for year 5, year 6 students. It's 5 days and it's starting exactly in 1 month. So you can definitely check this out as well. If you click on check course plan, you will get more details here as well. So we're offering daily homework with answers. We're including mock tests as well because it's really important that you get actual first-hand practice as well. And as I mentioned, we're going through all the tricky type of questions in this as well. The full syllabus will be covered here. So this again also has a 30% limited time only discount. The seats are also filling out quite quickly. So yes, you can have a definite look at that as well. Now let me go back to the PowerPoint. The next style of questions that you will have to sit in the 11 plus exam is the creative writing. So this is in the 11 plus English exam. There's 5 different styles. We have descriptive, persuasive, narrative, expository, and argumentative. Now, again, students do kind of struggle with the different styles of writing. It can be very difficult to be well versed over such a huge range, especially when they're so different from another. And for that exact reason, we can show you another helpful tool. So in the 11 plus English, again, if you click on 11 plus creative writing, we have the similar sort of package design specifically for creative writing. So there's a wide array of writing tasks. So there's more than 20 plus creative writing tasks, which are really suitable for both grammar and independent schools. Again, designed by our Oxbridge tutors. And now I will just give you a little example of how one looks like. So if we click on question paper here, and then click on free answers here as well. So this is a typical creative writing paper. You've got the instructions, you've got the marks allocated and how long to spend on it. Here you can kind of structure, you've got the writing plan, beginning, middle, and end. And now you can start your writing it. So we really laid it out so that your child has ease when answering this. Now, in order to kind of check your child's answer, this is our answer page. So again, this is referring back to the question. If you're a parent, you can look back at the question. We've given a hint. So this is a really helpful hint that would help your child understand how to actually answer this creative writing style question. Then we've also given a plan. Planning is the most essential part of writing a successful creative writing. So you need to be really having a hook in the middle. You need to begin by explaining the characters that you're introducing, and then you need to finish off by, leaving it on a cliffhanger. So these type of tricks and tips we've included in the plan. We've also provided a model answer. So this is something you can't get anywhere else. A lot of, other places don't have model answers. These are written by our Oxbridge tutors. So this is literally done by an 11 plus expert. So your child will get to see a model answer and kind of use the techniques that they've done as well. And similarly, we've also shown a poor answer. So what is a poor plan? What is a poor answer? Why is this specific answer not as good? For example, the plan is brief, it doesn't provide structure for the student or list techniques to use. So this is also really important. Yes, so again, there's lots of creative writings. You have ample of practice here. And again, on 11 plus courses, we're also running a October half-term creative writing course as well. So here you can again check the course plan. and you will be able to see everything that's involved in the course for this. So we will be going through descriptive writing, persuasive writing, narrative, and expository. So your child gets ample of practice in all the different styles. Again, these are having, the bespoke 30% off. So do relish in that. Yes. Now, moving on to the next sections is the SPAG skills. So this is spelling, punctuation, and grammar. Now, for this, five different skills are tested, which is the types of words, the punctuation, the spelling, synonyms and antonyms as well as the grammar side as well. So again, I can just show you very briefly now. It's more or less the similar format, but on English, we have 11 plus SPAG papers here. So you will be able to get to grips with all the different styles of SPAG techniques that will be assessed. There's over 1,000 questions. We have 30 practice papers, all separated by topics. So as you can see, noun, pronoun, determiner, adjectives, all the different types of punctuation types of papers you will encounter, spelling as well, and grammar. So you can have a look at this. And then back to the PowerPoint. We also have noticed that vocabulary is a huge problem amongst many students. And that's because A, students are not reading a lot, and more than that, they're not keeping a vocabulary list, which is really essential for the 11 plus exam. This is actually one of the key areas that a lot of students miss out on marks. They're able to do the comprehension, they're able to do really well in creative writing, but because there's so many topics that are involved within vocabulary, students end up missing marks. So here in vocabulary, there's so many different topics. There's root words, there's senses, there's idioms and phrases, there's also phobias, and there's also proverbs. So really long list. You can again guide through Pi Academy. I think you guys get the process as well now. So if you go on to 11 plus vocabulary, there will be many vocabulary topic-wise test solved past papers for you here. So over 1,000 questions. We test your child's ability on all the tricky type of vocabulary questions in this as well. Inference and their meanings, closed style questions. We've also separated it based on specific topics in the 11 plus exam, such as animals, plants, and foods, vocabulary that appeals to senses, and much, much more. So now that we've seen all of this, what are the most challenging 11 plus English areas? As I mentioned previously, vocabulary and context is a really tricky type of question. A lot of students are able to know words, but they're not necessarily able to apply them in the specific context. So why do students struggle with this very much? So as I mentioned, the 11 plus uses very advanced words, which won't necessarily be taught in your day-to-day schoolwork. And we will be having a completely separate webinar on this as well, where we will be going through the different types of vocabulary in context, and we will be helping you answer these type of questions as well. We also have another key area of problem is inference questions. Now, in the comprehension, we've noticed that 3 out of 10 students do not finish their 11 plus comprehension. And that's because they really struggle in these inference style of questions where they have to read in between the lines and kind of decode the passage. Almost it's like a big puzzle piece for them. So again, we will be running a separate webinar where we will be unraveling the different types of inference questions and how you can effectively answer them. Now, I'm just going to open up the panel, and what I'm going to ask you guys is, what do you think is the number one reasons students lose marks in the 11 plus creative writing tasks? So have a little think. I'm going to open up a poll, so it would be really lovely if you guys can kind of interact and pitch in why you think most students lose their marks. So what is the number one reason? Is it because of weak vocabulary? Is it poor imagination? Is it because of a lack of planning and structure? Or is it because of bad grammar? So just spend a minute or two on this. I can already see a lot of people are answering. So a lot of people are saying because children are lacking in their planning and structure. A few of you are saying weak vocabulary. No one is saying bad grammar. Okay, few are saying bad grammar. Okay, so I think the consensus 63% of you have said no planning or structure. A few amount of you have said weak vocabulary, and some have said poor imagination and bad grammar. So all of those are actually correct. However, the number one reason is because of poor planning and poor structure. So well done, everyone. You've answered that perfectly. That brings me to my next point, which is planning to fail, sorry, failing to plan is probably the number one reason that your child is not achieving their highest marks in the creative writing. So, having an effective plan is key for the creative writing. Your child really needs to separate the planning in terms of beginning, middle, and end. So, what we kind of advise is in the beginning, your child should bring out the main point of the creative writing that they're going to write in the exam. So this can be the characters, this can be kind of setting the scene, the landscape of the area that they're in. So for example, here it's saying that this story begins with two siblings who've been locked in a room by their evil governors. So in the beginning, you really need to create this daunting experience, this kind of ominous vibe that's part of this task you've been set. In the middle, you need to bring the author into your story. So you need to create a hook. This is the build-up stage of your creative writing. And lastly, you can choose to end the creative writing that your student is writing on a cliffhanger. So this really impresses the examiner a lot. Now, we've also created an 11 plus exam writing, creative writing checklist to help you with this. Now, this is a really useful tool, and the reason I say this is because we've kind of helped you with planning and sequencing the creative writing styles. So as you can see, this is a full-fledged checklist. You can all get access to this. We've given an example of what you can put in the beginning, and you can use this at home as well to go through your child's writing. So we have beginning, middle, as well as the end. This is a really comprehensive checklist. This is actually used by 11 plus experts and examiners as well. We've also included some comments. We've also used sentence structure. So have you started some sentences with connectives? Have you included openers in your writing? Have you started some sentence with ing and ly words? So these are all the key criteria that examiners are looking for. We've also added a comment section where you can kind of mark if your child has done this or not. And again, there's a little checkbox. So this is a really holistic checklist that will really help you mark your own child's work as well. So definitely have a look at that. And with that, we are done with the 11 plus English side. Definitely check out the resources and of course the 30% discount code you can use for today would definitely help you guys. I will now pass it on to Preeti, who will take over the 11 plus math section.
Thank you, Ishita. I hope I'm audible. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, great. So thanks, Ishita, going through all the 11 plus English syllabus. So my name is Preeti and I'm the founder of Pi Academy. We founded this company, Pi Academy, back in 2012. So we have more than around 13 years of experience in tutoring for 11 plus exam. So far, we have tutored more than, I would say, 20,000 students since we started. And we are very focused on helping the parents driving through this entire 11 plus journey. So, about a brief idea about my background, I did my master's in engineering and I'm running this company since over 14 years now. We have a range of tutors in our company. We have more than 50 plus tutors. We have a dedicated team of content developers like Ishita has mentioned. We always recruit the top tutors so that our resources are highly curated and they are written all by 11 plus experienced teachers, tutors who are typically trained for 11 plus exam. So this is pretty much about the Pi Academy, and now I will deep dive into the 11 plus math syllabus. Pretty much the structure is going to be the same like Ishita has explained earlier. So let's get started now. By the way, if you guys have any question, we are opening our question and answer session in about 15-20 minutes from now. So you can keep all your questions ready and we are more than happy to answer those questions. As you can see here, we have 11 plus exam math syllabus. And you can see here as well that we have six major topic, and there are many minor topics, but we have consolidated all of those topics as 80 plus subtopics. Everything is again available on our website. You can read the name of the topics on our slide, which is numbers, statistics, probability, ratio, proportion, algebra, geometry, and measures. So you can see this seems to be very small kind of a portion of the syllabus for 11 plus exam, but it's not, because like I said, there are 80 plus subtopics and we will go step by step what these topics include. Move on, Akanksha. So you can see the first topic is number, and many parents they feel that, oh, it's a very easy topic, but sorry, it's not, and I will explain you why it is not an easy topic. So basically most students fail to identify the correct operations in multi-step word problems. I hope you all must agree with me that if you give children a very simple question to add the fractions, every child can do it. But when it comes into the worded problems, then many children they struggle, they get confused with the operations what they need to perform in order to solve this question. So you can see under the number we have many topics. I'm not going to read all these topics because we are going to send you the slides, but few of them which are really important, it's basic operation and bid mass and fraction decimal percentages, and sometimes the patterns and the logical problems. I will show you on our website, like Ishita has already mentioned you, our website, which is piacademy.co.uk. The one step all the papers you can find it here under 11 plus papers. So you can hover on 11 plus paper, you will see there is 11 plus maths topic wise. I will open this in front of you so you can see what are the what are the topics covered under this. So first of all, if you can see here, we have 11 plus math solved topic wise questions. Now you might get a question in your mind from where these topics are coming from. The answer is we are having more than 230 past papers, and from these past papers we have tagged every question as per the topic. So first of all, these are not Pi Academy's topic, these are the actual topics which are coming from the past papers. And the beauty of this particular package is that every question within the past paper is associated with one of the topic. We have around 15,000 plus topic wise questions on our website, and that tells you that how experienced we are. We are having more than 14 years of experience. All the past papers which are available on the Pi Academy's website, they are since 2017, 2019, and sometimes before that. Moving on, as you can here clearly see, we have 15,000 plus topics, 230 solved past papers. Of course, our success rate is extremely high because we know exactly what is the requirement of 11 plus exam, and we are also providing you a very detailed planner which you can download it from our website. My colleagues will keep sending you the links to our topic wise questions, but this is extremely important page and you can make a note of that. You can see on the left hand side we have a dedicated list of all the topic wise questions, and this is where all our PowerPoint, which I'm going to share with you shortly, is aligned exactly with what is actually asked in the 11 plus exam. So we are on the number topics like I showed you on my slide, and you can see we have 4,625 questions under the numbers. It's a great resource. If you look at the price, it's hardly 69 pound, and again you're going to have 30% discount on that. You cannot miss the 11 plus exam if you practice all these sort of questions, and that's why very confidently and very proudly I would like to mention that we have a success rate of 95%, because you literally can't go wrong if you practice all these things. These are pure questions coming from the past papers. So again, these are not Pi Academy's questions. We are only writing the detailed stepwise solution, which you will not get it anywhere. Moving, if you scroll down, Akanksha, on this topic wise list, let the parents see the all the topics which we are covering. So you can see the numbers, you can see the statistics. I will come to that point. Ratio and proportion, algebra, all the topics. Literally, none of the topic has been missed. You can close your eyes and you can get enrolled to this package. I will come back to my PowerPoint because it's more important to deep dive into the exact syllabus. So I hope we all are now aware about the number topic. This is one of the example of the number topic. Like Ishita has mentioned in our next webinar, you must enroll to our next webinar because we are going in much detail of all the question types which are asked into the 11 plus exam. So this is just an example where the patterns and sequence is one of the topic under the numbers. Like I said, you can go on to our website and you can check how the numbers, what are the subtopics within the number, and you can take a deeper look on that. So here you go. There is a patterns and sequence. We have 401 questions in there. Some parents, some parents, they come and argue with us that this is very difficult question and this can't be a part of 11 plus exam. But that's a wrong interpretation, because these questions will definitely come into the 11 plus exam. What you see it on our screen is actual questions coming from the past papers. So like I mentioned frequently, these are not our papers, these are actually the school papers. So don't be under impression that this is a very tricky topic and can't be a part of 11 plus exam. That's a very wrong interpretation. So it's a right time, because we just started the school 3 4 weeks ago. You must make sure that your child is practicing each and every topic. So I will now move on to the next topic within the syllabus, because our aim today to get a complete understanding of the maths and English syllabus. So that's why my entire talk will focus only on deep diving into each topic. So the next is the statistics and probability. 72% parents neglect this topic due to the lack of awareness. And this is very important for all of you to understand the scale of 11 plus exam. There are literally 80 plus topics. So do not underestimate and make sure you are practicing every topic. I will not show you again the same thing, but we will be sending you the link on the Zoom chat. You can have a look at that and you can browse through all the topics. Moving on, Akanksha. So the next topic is ratio and proportion, and many students fail to recall the correct formula and struggle with the units. I think most of the parents will agree with me that unit conversion is a big problem. So if the question is given into the centimeter unit and if the final answer need to be a meter, children, they forget, they don't know the conversion formulas, and that's where the major problem they come up. Here I will also show you how we can make sure that all the skills or all the topics are practiced well. As Ishita has already showed you on our website under the 11 plus courses, you can see that we have the maths courses as well. Here you go, 11 plus courses. If you click on the 11 plus courses, you can also see all the mathematics courses on this page. Here you can see 11 plus exam GL half term course. My team member will send you the link for all the maths courses. This GL half term course of course includes maths, English and verbal, and we have a dedicated course on 11 plus exam maths complete course where we are catching up literally every topic. This will be the great course for your child. You can see it is taught 2 hours per day. It's a 10 hours of course, but it's worth investing because we are going through every topic, we are going through every concept, we are giving a very good practice, and we are also revising. I will show you the course details for this particular course. So if you click on check course plan, you can see that what is included within this course. There is a daily homework, there is the mock test included, and you can read, like I said, whatever the topics I have just mentioned it to you as a plan of the syllabus, all those topics are covered. It's a pretty intensive course, but this will set the entire work for your child for the rest of the year. We will be sending you the link for this particular course as well as the maths course in the Zoom chat. You can take a time to understand what is the syllabus covered. If you have any question, you can ask at the end of this webinar. Coming back to where we left, so we talk about the ratio and proportion. So all the topics, now the topic wise page, our courses page where all the courses are mentioned in much detail. I will go on to the next topic now, which is algebra. Now, here is the biggest problem. What happens is many of the parents, they are no clue, they have no clue about the algebra. They get to know about the algebra when they encounter such a kind of question in some of the mock test or some of the practice paper. And that time it is extremely late because, like I said, we are in the market since more than 14 years and we have seen how the parents, or forget about the parent, there are so many tutors who are not aware that there is a algebra topic which is must to do in the 11 plus exam. And you can see here 80% of the students struggle with the algebra as it's not covered in the year 5 curriculum. So in the schools, in normal national curriculum, there is no concept of the algebra, and even if there are certain questions on the algebra, the 11 plus exam, it's totally different. The difficulty level of the 11 plus exam is way higher than the common national curriculum, and that's why I would like to emphasize on all of for in this particular webinar that you should not leave the algebra topic until the last minute, because algebra is a very very difficult topic. Because I myself was teaching to 11 plus exam for the math subject, and I have realized that it's so difficult even to teach the algebra topic to the kids. But remember, the algebra questions are going to be there in the exam, and hence it is important that you are practicing this topic. We have the dedicated courses in the page which I have showed you, and we also have a dedicated video course on the algebra. You can see we have algebra half term course which is literally starting right from 1 month from now. You can enroll there because this is the right time that the child should start practicing the difficult topics. You can see all the details. We will be sending you the link for that topic, and also we do have a geometry half term course. Like I said, we will give you all the links, so nothing to worry about it. When I'm talking about the algebra as a part of the syllabus, I would also like to show you our video course on algebra, which you can have a look, which is very, very interesting. That if, for example, you are unable to join any particular course, we have fully recorded video courses, and this is an amazing resource because you can see if you read the name of this video course, which is 11 plus algebra advanced word problems. So we captured all the algebra problems from past 14 years, and we curated this course to teach the student how to practice the algebra advanced word problem. We do have algebra basic course, and you can find all our video courses on the mega menu. If you scroll up, Akanksha, we can show to all the parents where they can find the video courses. So you see there is a dedicated section on the videos. If you click on there, you will land on this page, and on this page, we have all the courses, including algebra, word problems, advanced algebra, geometry, comprehension, creative writing. And the beauty of this entire courses is that we ensured exactly where the children they make mistake, and we captured all those mistakes in the pre-recorded courses. In this course package, you will also get the homework, you will also get the mock exams, there are the worksheets. It's loaded with the resources, so you can have a look. Urvashi, if you can send the complete link of the video courses in the Zoom chat, then the parents can have a look. Coming back to our syllabus topic, so we covered the algebra the topics within the algebra. Again, like I said, the geometry questions make up around 15 to 20% of the 11 plus exam paper. So do not leave it to the last minute. Make sure that you are practicing the geometry and majors question from our topic wise. You can also take our video courses, or you can join our half term courses, which are the live sessions. All the tutors are highly experienced, and you can take an advantage of 30% discount. All the courses are waive off 30% only for today. You can subscribe to our courses. So I will not list the full list of the geometry and majors because it is very self-explanatory, and we will be sending you the PPTs in the email post webinar. We also have a recording available on our YouTube channel. You can join our YouTube channel and view this entire recording on your own time. Yes, we will move on to the next topic. So again, these are the examples of which are important to cover under each topic, and we are covering all these question types in our next webinar. So definitely do register our next webinar, and we will go in much detail about all these questions. So as you can see, over 50% of the student, they struggle in the geometry, especially in visualizing and solving under the time pressure. So timing is very, very important in maths. Many students, they struggle for the timing, and this is what exactly we are going to cover in our next webinar. We will train parents, how to make sure that the child is completing the paper within the given timed conditions. Moving on. Yeah, so some schools they have VR and NVR, some schools they do not have VR and NVR. So make sure that you are checking with the school whether there is a VR or NVR subject, because most of the students they are unfamiliar with the VR and NVR. So around 84% of the students they are not aware about the VR and NVR till they come to the year 5. In our institute, in our academy, we ensure from year 4 they are practicing the VR and NVR as a part of their syllabus, and we ensured in all of our courses we are covering this VR and NVR. Just to give you an example, I will show you our Sunday weekend classes. Again, you have to go to 11 plus courses on the top, and you will see that we have Sunday weekend classes. This is highly economical. The tutors are amazing. You can enroll your child because this is a complete holistic development for the 11 plus exam preparation. In this particular Sunday weekend classes, we are covering all the 4 subjects: maths for an hour, English for an hour, VR and NVR. This course takes place on every Sunday, 1:15 to 2:15 for maths, 2:30 to 3:30 for English, and 3:45 to 4:15 for VR and NVR. So it's around 3 hours of class every Sunday, and we charge hardly 99 pound per month. In that, you will get all the resources plus the tutoring. So it's a highly popular course. We have like around more than 50 students joining this course. It's a very disciplined. You can read all about this course, into your own time. We will be giving out you the link. Just to mention, the 30% discount is not applicable on this particular course because it's a monthly recurring course. It's a monthly recurring payment, but rest of all the products you can apply 30% coupon code. Yeah, coming back to our original topic, Akansha. Yeah, so starting late can put unnecessary pressure on your child and may lead to burnout. So please be very careful. Plan your 11 plus journey very nicely so that both parent and the child are happy and they can enjoy this journey. Okay, now this is really important. How to tackle difficult 11 plus exam topic. I think Ichita has already mentioned all the topics. She has also mentioned where the parents or the student can make mistake, and I have also done the same. The most important thing is first build the concept. You can watch our video lessons and make sure the conceptually the child is having a very good clarity. Once the concepts are cleared, practice, because especially in the maths it needs a tremendous practice. So every single day the child should practice at least for 30 minutes. Maybe you can top up with that with 15 minutes of mental maths. And finally, when we come closer to the exam, it's very important to revise frequently, because the children are extremely young. They are only 10, 11 years old. If you teach them something in this month, they might forget in 10 days. So that's why the revision is very most important. And finally, the mock. When you are in the month of May or June, you can start taking the mocks. Right now, you don't need to worry about the mock exams. Okay, and here you go. Lost time equal to lost practice. Begin now. And 11 plus topic wide checklist is also available. You can have a look at all our free resources. These are absolutely free. You can download our planner. You can see all the 11 plus maths planners are there in detail topic wide checklist. This is an amazing source. You must download. It's a totally free, and you can see all the topics are mentioned here. The same topics are also available on our website. We have sent you many links already. You can have a good look on those links. Formula sheets, this is very very important that your children, the students, are aware about all the formulas. They must be knowing their square numbers, cube numbers, because that will give them a very very good speed into the exam, and they can solve the questions in the given time. Likewise, like I mentioned, for 11 plus exam, there are English planner. We have misspelled word. This is a very, very good resource, because we know exactly through our 14 years of experience exactly where the child can make a mistake in the spelling. This VCOP pyramid is amazing. You can have a look at that also. Plural, noun, and rules, everything is there. Every little resource is there, and we curated this resource through our many many years of experience. We know where the children can make mistake, and we know when the parent makes mistakes, it's really difficult to rectify it close to the exam. So don't be under impression that these topics seems difficult and they might not ask in the exam, but that's not the case. So that is pretty much about the 11 plus math syllabus. um, yeah, you can scan this WhatsApp code and you can join our group. We keep posting a lot of information in those groups. Please apply the webinar 30. Do not forget at the checkout, apply this code to get 30% off. It will exactly expire by tomorrow, same time. This is pretty much from my end. And now we will open the panel for Q&A session. Please drop all your questions in our Zoom chat so that we can start addressing them. Keep joining our next webinar session where we are going in much, much detail about every question type. So our next webinar, Urvashi, do you know the date? Can you please post the date of our next webinar in the Zoom chat? One of the parent, Mahavesh, is asking when is the next webinar? It's on 19th of October, Sunday. I think there are no questions. So if you feel, if you have any doubts or questions, by all means, you can send us the WhatsApp message, or you can even use our live chat on the website, and our support team is always happy to solve your questions. Do join our next webinar, and this is pretty much for today. Thank you for joining, and have a lovely Sunday afternoon. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye bye.